I turned one of my old ugly art pieces into something a little bit more presentable, and here is how I did it. So first I went in with the liquify tool and just played around with the proportions and questioning whether I should make the body bigger or the head smaller. And it's funny because it's one of the things that I still struggle with today, which is doing a really large bobblehead, which I like to call mammoth head. So you can see I'm trying to make his head smaller and a little bit more proportionate to the body. And then next I tried to fix his eyes. So I think initially his eyes were a little bit too big and they were like the major centerpiece of his face, but I like it when the eyes are a little bit more proportionate to the face, and I did so by using the liquify tool to make it a little bit smaller and more narrow. So I decided to try and fix his hair next. So I went in with the same color because I wanted to try and keep as much as the original as I could. So I used the liquify tool to kind of play around with the hair shape, but basically after I went in with more lines trying to add more depth, and again using color to try and add more depth and volume. And I also did so by putting in extra tufts of hair and shading to add a little bit more volume and to make it look like I know what I'm doing. And this is actually still one of my favorite steps, which is adding the small strands of hair peeking out to make the hair look a little bit more rendered and full. And I feel like I mentioned this in most of my videos where I'm like, oh, this is my favorite step, but I still have no idea what this step is called. Like I guess hair rendering is a little bit vague, but it's just like adding extra strands of hair on top of the line art and color layer. And then I added more shading again on the multiply layer and using the lasso tool and smudge technique. I just feel like the multiply layer and the extra strands of hair just add so much more depth. I'm gonna say depth so many times again, but I don't know what other word to use, like volume. To top off the hair, I added some hair shine. His hair kind of looks like orange bacon, but I think I end up changing the color grading a little bit, so just hold on to the orange bacon thought and I will try and fix it. And next I'm going in to try to fix his face. So I went back in to fix his eyebrows and his eyelashes a little bit, making it a little bit darker and look a little bit more full, like he has some life and he's not just like staring into your soul. And after that, I wanted to fix the direction of his pupils, like where he's looking at. Like I feel like I still have a lot of trouble with pupil placement. Like sometimes they look cross-eyed or sometimes it looks like they're looking in different directions. And I feel like it's a struggle that I've always had. So I always use the transform tool and the liquify tool to play around with the pupil placement. And another thing I have major difficulty on, which you probably know, is again the mouth's placement, shape, and size. Like I have so much trouble. I don't know why it's so hard. I feel like it only looks good if I do like a straight line, and then if I do too much detail it just looks a little bit weird to me, like in my style. Like I tried to do lips in this one and I think I ended up keeping it, but I still think it looks a little bit odd, so let me know if it does. After trying to fix the face, I'm going in with a little bit more shading and color to his cheeks because he looked a little bit pale, and continuously flipping the canvas a lot and using the liquify tool once in a while to move some things around that I think look a little bit weird. So my whole objective of this was trying to improve it, not completely like redraw and rechange it so it doesn't look too similar to what it was initially, because I feel like that wouldn't be fun, you know. I just wanted to see if I could improve like the initial one with using very minimal tools. And I think it's actually quite cool to see this because I don't think I could ever draw something with this style today. Like, does that make any sense? Like, I feel like if I drew something from a blank canvas, it would not turn out what it looks like right now. Like, it kind of looks like a different style. Like, here's the same character that I drew with starting from a blank canvas, and the styles are quite different. So it's interesting to see how, despite drawing both, they came out looking like different styles. So here I am trying to fix up a few final pieces, but it's basically done, I think. It doesn't look that bad considering I did very limited changes, just using some liquify and color and some slight redraws, but I'm not completely disappointed in how it turned out. I think it looks a little bit more presentable, I think. Like, I feel like I went in with like the lowest standards, so I'm okay with how it turned out. And I definitely think that you should try this. I think it not only is just like a fun little thing that you could do, but it's such a good learning experience. You can see how much you improved and grow from your own art and see mistakes from an objective point of view a little bit and apply your skills as an artist today to improve a piece that you drew as an artist of the past. Oh my god, that was me trying to be poetic, like that wasn't scripted, and it turned out really bad. So yeah, so here's the before and the after. Let me know if I should try this again because it was really fun, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!